Good evening. I want to welcome everyone to the 2011 Athletic Awards Night. Student athletes and coaches will remember that we all gathered in this theater last September to kick off the academic year. Our focus at that time was on our academic responsibilities, and we recognized many of our outstanding scholar athletes, pointing to them as role models for the younger students, particularly the first-year students. At that time, we also talked a little bit about believing in ourselves and about supporting each other on the field and off. Tonight we gather to remember and to celebrate. Celebrate a truly remarkable year and a truly remarkable group of student athletes. I know many of you parents, family members, and friends are here to see your loved one recognized, or their friends or teammates recognized, and you will have that opportunity. But I would ask you also, as the night progresses, to consider the impressive array of young men and women you will meet. I think that you will agree that they are young people that any college in the country would be proud to call their own. Before we go on, I would like to recognize our Faculty Athletic Control Board. Chair and Faculty Athletic Representative, Professor Jill Payne. Jill? Professor Pat Carley, Professor Bruce Johnson, Professor Kent Lagaditz, and Professor Mary Saltis. This group is formally our institutional oversight group. In many ways, they are our biggest supporters. Thank you very much. I also want to recognize and thank our president, Vince Maniaci, in the back. And all of the other faculty and administration who have been so supportive over the past year. We are indeed fortunate to have such support from the campus community. High-achieving scholar athletes represent the model that all college athletic programs aspire to. Certainly ours does. And we want to take some time now to recognize our top scholar athletes in the senior class. I would point out that these are the best of a very large and distinguished group. Back in September, we recognized well over 100 returning student athletes with a 3.0 GPA or better. That means there are plenty of seniors out there who have commendable academic records. The first group is being recognized through the Milton J. Pepple Merit Medal Program. The final two will be recognized tomorrow night at the academic award ceremony as our top scholar athletes, male and female, of the class of 2011. First, a word about the merit medals. Milton J. Pepple was athletic director at American National College through the 1970s and early 80s. He was football coach from 1971 to 1975. He was raised in Enfield, graduated from Cathedral High School in Springfield, and was an All-American football player at Notre Dame. He coached at Dartmouth, Brown, Holy Cross, and UMass before coming to AIC in 1971, undertaking the project of bringing a loosely run organization into the modern NCAA world. Coach Pepple was, in many ways, the father of our modern athletic program at AIC. The Merit Medal program had been sponsored by the ECAC for many years. Now that we are no longer affiliated with the ECAC, we have renamed these significant awards in recognition of Coach Pepple's outstanding contribution to athletics at American National College. Would the following please come forward to the stage in the order called? That'll be a challenge. Kenner Almeida, Sarah Bowden, Tomas Minovic, Zach Bonzell, Alex Casparis, Rebecca Dion, Colleen Dorsey, Kent Graham, I know where Kent is, he's on the golf course, Adrian Hines Gary, Robert Lubold, Lauren Silva, and Mike Little. Kenner Almeida is a management major from Vinhedo, Brazil, with a 3.69 grade point average. He played in 42 games on defense during his 3 varsity seasons at AIC. He appeared in 17 of the team's 18 games this past season with 11 starts. Kenner has earned a spot on the Northeast 10 Commissioner's Honor Roll 5 times. Kenner Almeida. So here. Sarah Bowden, a physical therapy major from Chicopee, Mass., with a 3.75 grade point average, has been a top runner for the women's cross-country team since her arrival on campus 4 years ago, and is the first 4-year runner in the program. She has served as team captain each year and recorded a career best 37th place finish in the 2009 Northeast 10 Championship meet. She has also competed in the distance and middle distance events as a member of the track and field team. Sarah has been named to the Northeast 10 Commissioner's Honor Roll 7 times. Sarah Bowden. Tomas Banovic. Thomas is here. Step forward. Tomas Banovic is an international business major from Trenčín, Slovakia, with a 3.50 grade point average. He has skated in 104 games on defense as a member of the men's ice hockey team, scoring 3 goals with 4 assists for 7 points. He scored a career best 3 goals with 1 assist for 4 points in 30 games played as a senior. Tomas has been named to the Athletic Hockey All-Academic Team each of the past 3 years. Tomas Banovic. Zach Bonzell. Zach Bonzell is a marketing major from Medford, Mass. With a 3.48 grade point average. He is a senior co-captain for the Yellow Jackets. Over his career, he has split his time as a starting and relief pitcher, winning 4 games and 39 total appearances. He has 1 victory to his credit in 8 appearances so far this season when this was written, registering 19 strikeouts in 29 innings pitched. Zach Bonzell. Alex Casparis. Alex Casparis is a business major from Portland, Maine, with a 3.57 grade point average. He has appeared in 49 games on attack as a member of the men's lacrosse team, scoring 11 goals with 4 assists for 15 points with 49 ground balls. He has scored 4 goals with 15 ground balls in his first 11 games this season and has been named to the Northeast 10 Commissioner's Honor Roll 7 times. Alex Casparis. Rebecca Dion. Becky Dion is a physical therapy major from Raynham, Mass. with a 3.59 grade point average. She has started in 104 of her 114 games played as a catcher and outfielder for the softball team, recording 78 hits with 34 RBIs and 35 runs scored, and a career .976 fielding percentage. She had a career year last year with career highs of 33 hits, 19 RBIs, and 11 runs scored. Becky has earned a spot on the Northeast 10 Commissioner's Honor Roll 7 times. Becky Dion. Colleen Dorsey, women's lacrosse and soccer. Colleen Dorsey is a dual major in liberal studies and special education from Wilbraham, Mass. She has appeared in 55 games as a member of the women's lacrosse team, scoring 15 goals and 12 assists to go with 46 ground balls, 20 cause turnovers, and 19 draw controls. She was also a member of the women's soccer team her freshman and sophomore years. Colleen has been named to the Northeast 10 Commissioner's Honor Roll 7 times. Colleen Dorsey. Kent Graham is on the golf course in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So he's not here. Kent Graham is a sports and recreation manager from St. Petersburg, Florida. When he came here, he was from Hawaii, so now he's St. Petersburg. With a 3.54 grade point average. and has helped make the AIC men's golf team one of the best in the region since his arrival on campus in the spring of 2008. He is playing some of his best golf as a senior, winning Lemoyne's Mike Bello Invitational, recording 6 top 10 finishes and 9 top 15s. Kent is also a member of the men's basketball team for 3 seasons, serving as a backup forward, and has been named to the Northeast 10 Commissioner's Honor Roll 6 times. Kent Grant. Rob Loubolt. Rob Loubolt is a criminal justice major from Holyoke, Mass. with a 3.56 grade point average. He has been one of AIC's top singles players and top doubles players since his arrival on campus. He has split time between first and second singles since the start of his sophomore year and has played at first doubles in every match since 2009. Rob has earned a spot on the Northeast 10 Commissioner's Honor Roll 7 times. Rob Loubolt. Steve Mcleod, I don't think he's here. Steve Mcleod is a mathematician. Come on up, Steve. Step forward, Steve. Steve Mcleod is a mathematics major from Antikoken, Ontario, with a 3.86 grade point average. He has skated 126 games on the wing as a member of the men's ice hockey team, scoring 24 goals with 45 assists for 69 career points. He recorded career high totals of 9 goals, 13 assists, and 22 points as a junior. Steve is a recipient of Atlantic Hockey's Top Scholar Athlete Award and was a member of the Atlantic Hockey Academic All-Star Team as a sophomore. He's been named to the Atlantic Hockey All-Academic Team each of the past 3 years. Steve Mcleod. Our outstanding scholar athletes, male and female, will be introduced and recognized tomorrow night at Academic Awards, but I wanted you to meet them tonight. Lauren Silva. Lauren Silva is a marketing major from New City, New York, with a 3.86 grade point average. She appeared in 36 games in 4 years as a defensive midfielder with the field hockey team, and saw action in 30 games in her 2 seasons in the midfield as a member of the women's lacrosse team. She became president of the AIC and Northeast 10 Student Athlete Advisory Committees 2 years ago, which has allowed her to be an advocate for student athletes at a number of NCAA events, including national conventions. She has also been named to the Northeast 10 Commissioner's Honor Roll 7 times. Lauren Silva. And Mike Little. Mike Little is a criminal justice and psychology major from Enfield, Connecticut. He has a 3.81 grade point average. He has skated in 133 games on defense for the men's ice hockey team and was assistant captain in his senior year. He scored 5 goals with 27 assists for 32 career points. He recorded a career-best 13 points in each of the past 2 seasons. Mike, who has also been a member of the men's tennis team each of the past 2 years, has been named to the Atlantic Hockey All-Academic Team each of the past 3 years. Mike Little. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our top scholar athletes of 2010-2011. Let's give them one more round of applause. Sorry. Adrian Hines Gary. Come on, Adrian, over here. Adrian Hines Gary is a sports and recreation management major from Montreal, Quebec, with a 3.47 grade point average. He started in all but 4 of his 75 career games played as a member of the men's basketball team, averaging 9 points and 4.6 rebounds per game while registering 230 assists and 90 steals as the team's point guard. He averaged 8.8 points and 4.2 rebounds per game with 86 assists and 33 steals while helping lead AIC to a 20-win season and a berth in the NCAA Championship Tournament this year. He has been named to the Northeast 10 Commissioner's Honor Roll 5 times. Adrian Hines, Gary. We will now move on to the coaches' presentations. We will follow the program, each coach automatically coming forward when the preceding coach is finished. I would ask you to keep moving to the front to keep things moving and enter to our stairs on your right and exit on the stairs to the left. Coach?
Thank you, Mr. Fedora. This senior group is a distinguished bunch. I'd like our award winners to move forward. I've previously spoken to them. Come up to the stage now and start talking about the first person and second. This group has participated in the first home NCAA football game that AIC has ever played in. At one time, they had 15 consecutive victories, which was the most in the nation at that time in any division, 1A, 1AA, or in Division 3 or Division 2. And this year, after a difficult start with a lot of young players on offense, they tied for the best record in the conference. The first award winner is Nick Abraham. This is the Dr. Frankie Hurley Award, awarded the most dedicated football player throughout the season. Nick has had a series of shoulder injuries, required surgery in the off-season. He's been all conference for several years in a row and has had to play through pain. He's one of the fastest, toughest fellows that we've ever had at linebacker. Congratulations, Nick Abraham. The next 3 fellows could not attend this evening for a good reason. They're graduates. We have a long history of graduating fellows on time, 4.5 years, and we've graduated about 80 graduate students over the last 10 or 12 years. And I'd like to speak to them as a bunch. The first one is Terence Holly, was the most sought after football player we've ever gotten at AIC. He was a terror at middle linebacker for us. Had many supervisors of officials come to me, want to know what his history was. He's a great player. Alan Bush, I've been at Penn State, South Carolina, Bucknell, Appalachian State. Alan Bush is the best man player at all those schools. I don't mean for the level of football that we play, but he's the best man player that I have ever been around. As a consequence, everybody threw it at the other corner. Nathaniel Rich from Maryland, who had 5 interceptions for touchdowns over a span of 2 years. He had 15 interceptions because everybody threw it his way. There's no other place to throw it to. They're 3 of the best football players I've ever had, and they all wanted to come back tonight, but they have commitments in the greater world. I wonder if we could give them a round of applause in absentia. The next fella started to play unexpectedly. We had an outstanding quarterback throw a pass against Bryant in the opening game, had his thigh bone broken in 3 spots, and later in the game we brought this fellow on. He wound up starting the next 2 games, which we lost, and then led us to the 15 consecutive victories. One of the smartest football players I've ever been around. He was elected as the top quarterback in the Northeast region, including Pennsylvania, as a sophomore. In his junior year, he broke a thumb middle of the year, and it interfered with his ability to set. He set all kinds of records, but he would have surpassed all the quarterbacks in every category. This year, we started with 2 freshman offensive linemen. Didn't know who our running back was going to be. Out of our first 5 wideouts, we only had 1 player that had any experience. Rob played focused and determined through all that, made a lot of plays. We won a couple of games we shouldn't have. And when everybody came together at the end of the year, we averaged 56 points. He had 15 touchdowns in the last 3 games. I thought, it was, of all the years he's performed here, I thought it was his most marvelous performance. So awarded to the most outstanding offensive player for 4 seasons, Rob Parent. And to top off our awards is the Milton J. Pepple Alumni Football Award, given this year for the best defensive player over 4 years. J. Shawn Williams was the returning defensive lineman of the year in the NE10. He was a preseason All-American. He scored several touchdowns last year. This is the guy who's as fast as most running backs, along with Rob, played in the postseason All-Star game. Jay Shawn led a fantastic group of defensive players, fellows who have been as good as any defense in the nation. Jay Shawn Williams. Thank you.
Okay, I've got 3 seniors that I want to talk a little bit about before we get to our award winner. First one is Cara Potts. We actually did this for Cara last year, not knowing that she was going to come back. So we're just going to keep it short and then just talk about a couple of the awards that she won this year. Cara broke her hand, I think first or second game of her freshman year, and was able to get a red shirt. So she wasn't sure she wanted to come to grad school, decided last minute that she was going to come back, and had probably one of the best years that any goalkeeper has had in the history of the program here. A huge reason why we were so successful this year, just some of the things she did. Selected to the Northeast 10 Conference second team as a goalkeeper, named NE10 Goalkeeper of the Week twice, October 4th and 12th. She had the best save percentage in the entire conference, and that's tough when you have the #1 ranked team in the country in your conference. Second best goals against average in the conference, once again, that one was behind St. Rose. Selected to NSCAA All-Region team, NEIWSA All-Region team, and also selected to play in the Nuisa Senior All-Star game. So Cara, once again, a big reason why we were so successful this year. We wish she had some more eligibility. Cara Potts. Second senior, Sam Larson, San Jose, California. Sam has only been here 2 years. She transferred in from junior college in Wyoming. I'm not sure how we got her from there, but she started as an outside defender for us for the last 2 years. Sam, a little different than the other 2 seniors here, didn't get a lot of accolades, but in my opinion was a huge part of the team. Like I said, started almost every game for us this year. I think maybe 1 or 2 games she missed when she was injured. Big, strong, rugged defenseman, wins everything in the air, dangerous on all set pieces offensively and defensively, hits goal kicks out over midfield. Hits all set pieces 40, 50 yards into the box. So extremely dangerous player on the field, great personality, high energy, high character person. Vince says to me all the time, which I'm starting to realize now, you guys aren't going to know how much you miss her until she's gone, and I'm seeing that now. So Sam has been a great part of the team for the last 2 years, and we wish her the best. Last senior, Cassie Ashwell, local kid from Feeding Hills, Mass, criminal justice psychology major. Cassie had a tough situation last year. We finished in the spring at Springfield College, which for us is kind of, we travel, play a bunch of D1s in the spring, and Springfield's a local tournament where we get to have a picnic and relax a little bit. And I think one of the last games, Cassie ended up breaking her ankle, didn't even know until midsummer. So basically, we never really got her ready until mid-season this year. She tried playing in preseason in the first half of the season, was kind of a shell of what she normally is. And at that point, I want to say halfway through the year, only had a couple goals and a couple of assists. And then when our top scorer went down, and she at that point was starting to get more fit, the last 2-3 weeks of the season, she was better than anyone in the conference. And it ended up finishing, I think, 3rd or 4th in the conference in scoring, really having not done much the first 10 or 12 games due to injury. Probably the most decorated player that we've had since I've been here in 5 years. Just some of the things she's done: 2-time team captain, 2-time team MVP, 3-time Northeast 10 Conference player, 2-time NSCA All-Region, 3-time Nuisa All-Region, selected to play in the Nuisa Senior All-Star Game this year. So really quite an accomplished career for her, and we're lucky that she's chosen to come back as a member of our coaching staff next year. So Cassie Ashwell. I'm going to call our award winner up here now, Jennifer Kirby. Jen is a junior from Ajax, Ontario, sport management major, 3.36 cumulative GPA. I'm just going to start by telling a quick story about Jen. Last year as a sophomore, we get probably about 5 games into the year, and Jen has got a ton of talent, but in our opinion, like we see a lot, not maybe performing to a certain level. We didn't do it purposely, but we ended up having a game where the other team played a really weird formation, and Jen didn't get on the field that game. And I think she thought we were trying to send her a message, but it was the best thing we could have done. We didn't necessarily do it on purpose, but she got the message that we didn't try to send. And she has been, in my opinion, the best defender in the league for the last 2 years. Only made 2nd team all-conference this year, which was crazy. She was definitely, maybe St. Rose had a defender that was close to her, but I didn't think so. Made 2nd team all-region. She was something that Art Wilkins would say in football, you have kind of a cover corner. For us, she was the player that on the right side, wherever the other team's best player was, we would match her up. And I can think of maybe one situation all year where the player got the best of her and scored a goal. But the rest of the year, it wasn't even close. So we're lucky to have her back for one more year. We hope that she comes in as inspired as she was this year and has an even better year. And it's Jennifer Kirby.
Good evening, Fred Galvino, Men's Soccer. Wow, what a historical day it's already been. I just want to acknowledge the 4 seniors that are here today. The first is a 2-sport athlete, Emil Barnett. If you could please stand for a second. He must be out in the track, still warming up. Emil's one of the 2-sport track athletes. He's been with us for 2 years. Had a great senior season. He scored one of the big winners for us when we beat our arch rival Merrimack late in the season. It came off his head, surprisingly enough. The other gentleman, Alan Jonathan from Central Islip, has probably been one of our most consistent defenders for the past 4 years. Alan's started just about every game since he's been here, and he scored a big game, a goal, his only goal his junior year. And then there's Mr. Andrew Russo. If you could please stand up in the back of the room. Andrew's played in 37 games for us as a defender, midfielder, one of the great team guys. If someone went down, Andrew would play in any position. His junior year, he scored probably one of the biggest goals in our AIC history. He scored a big one against Franklin Pierce. And I want to thank you, Andrew. Well done. Our award winner is Shawn Stevenson, if you could make your way down here. Shawn led the conference in scoring, scored 9 goals. He tied was the leading goal scorer. He was all conference. He also was selected for the New England All-Star game where Division I, II, and III played against each other. And again, Shawn represented himself very well and was named the MVP of that game. So AIC's Earl Hines Award winner is Shawn Stevenson.
Good evening. Coach Wankerter, the women's head volleyball coach. I'd just like to talk about some of my players tonight. I wish I could sit here and talk about everybody, but I just have to talk about the seniors and award winners. But briefly, I'd just like to say that our team has reached the highest goal for AIC in history. We reached the East Region Championships and we were placed 6th. So great job, ladies. Okay, now for our seniors. Senior opposite John L. Gurley, can you please stand up? Thank you. On the court, John L. contributed to our team in a number of ways, but most importantly, her ability to understand the concept of team has defined her as one of our leaders. She led us to the championships this year with her dedication to our team and our ongoing fight to win. After suffering through injuries, she always was anxious to return and contribute to the team's success. Thank you, Jonelle, for your dedication to our team. Next senior is senior captain middle blocker Kezia Cashew. On the court, Kez has been the most offensive player in the lineup. She tallied a total of 670 career kills, which is very tough to do. Great job, Kez. Defensively, at the net, she dominated with a total of 237 blocks. Very nice job. Off the court, however, Kez is an extremely hard-working individual that has been dedicated to her team and to the growth of this program. Thank you, Kez, for all your hard work. Senior captain, all-around player, Cameron Williams, may you please come up to the stand? This senior year, Cameron reached a first for an AIC volleyball player, reaching a total of 1,153 digs in her career. Because of her top-level skills on the court, she carried many titles on our team. On the court, she excelled at positions from defensive libero to an unstoppable hitter and to an offensive setter at times. But one title that never changed was captain. Her years on the team, she held the title as captain because of her exceptional leadership skills. She was the first to celebrate with the team in victories and the first to consult with her teammates after a tough match. She is the most reliable, dedicated athlete who always put her heart and soul into our team, and this is why I would like to honor her with the Alumni Achievement Award. Thank you, Cam. Finally, my last award is the Peter S. Meltzer Award. This is the Women's Varsity Player of the Year. A junior outside hitter from Fort Worth, Texas, Alicia Terry, can you please come up? Alicia Terry reached a remarkable high of 1,000 kills in her junior year and is currently only 20 digs short of reaching 1,000 digs. She was named second team all-conference, and not only does she excel on the court, but she is a leader by motivating her teammates to always give 110%. This work ethic has been contagious and has led us to new highs. This is why Alicia Terry is our 2010-2011 Most Valuable Player. Congratulations.
We do not at this moment have a field hockey coach, and that is really part of the field hockey story for this year. Last year at this time, field hockey was a nice story. A team struggles against adversity, no field, no home games, no home. Still they make progress. Then the field is built. The team wins its most games ever, 6. It's a happy story. Admirable. The coach leaves, that's a big question. What happened this year reads like a script from a Disney movie. The new coach, the previous assistant from Lehigh University, was a big hit. The team started strong. Wins followed upon wins, 6, 7, 10, 13. We were in the playoffs. We were nationally ranked. Then we won in the playoffs. Win number 14. The NCAA tournament was beckoned and we were in. One more win and we would go to the Final Four in Kentucky. The game was wildly exciting, but we lost, 1-0. Who would have believed it? Well, the answer was that the kids believed it. Team members believed it. Everything came together. They came together, and it was a joy to see. Their final record was 14-7. Remember, they had never won in the program's history more than 6 games. They were 7th. They were ranked 7th in the nation. We have 5 seniors on this team, and if they would stand when I call their names: Kat Hitterbring, Ronnie Peters, Jamie Plamondon, Lauren Silva, and Nicole Spence. Each made a significant contribution. Each had a 4-year story to tell. The major recognitions on this team went to 2 All-Americans, Lindsay Fernandez and goalie Kim Steiner, and a consensus member of the All-Rookie team, freshman defender Courtney Williams. Coach Stacy Blue was National Coach of the Year, and that's the catch in this story. Stacy went back to Lehigh as head coach, and I'm here talking to you today. We're deeply indebted to assistant coach Ashley Mazzoli, who stepped in this spring and kept the program going. She would be here tonight, but she's still juggling her doctoral program. I'm sure that all the field hockey team joins me in offering Ashley a profoundly felt thank you. Kim Steiner, could you come forward, please? The Field Hockey Award could have gone to a number of worthy players. The recipient was selected by Coach Blue, and I heartily endorse it. When you have a winning team and an All-American goalie, you have a very happy combination. Our outstanding field hockey player goes to Kim Steiner. One more thing. Somewhere in the transition between Coach Blue and Assistant Coach Mazzoli, we missed an opportunity to submit our team's outstanding GPAs for recognition by the National Field Hockey Association. That omission cannot be undone, but I can tell you what would have been reported. The following members of the team had grade point averages of 3.3 or better: Hannah Farrelly, Jessica Grimm, Mackenzie Cooley, Jennifer Patton, Lauren Silva, Kimberly Steiner, and Courtney Williams. And Courtney's GPA was 3.93, And Lauren's you already heard about, 3.86. So congratulations to all of them.
As a hockey coach, it's always nice to see Seth conspicuous in his ever-present hockey uniform out in the middle of the crowd. I'm just going to have my two assistants stand up very quickly here. I think most of you are familiar with them anyhow, but they've been really indispensable to our program. Mike Field and Casey Maylock. It's been a little bit rough for Casey of late with a royal wedding. Some say he looks a little bit like Prince William. A lot of people have been coming up and asking him that. We have 6 seniors in our program this year and 2 that are award winners. I'm going to speak a little bit about each senior and then have our 2 award winners come up at the end. The first is Jake Anderson. Jake is a business major from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and was on the all-academic team for Atlantic Hockey. Jake was also the subject of 2 interesting signs that were held up at our games over the last couple of years, which is reflective of, I think, his popularity on campus. One during our senior night this year said, "Coach Wright," or something to this effect, "Coach Wright put Jake in the nets." And then a couple of years ago, another sign that was held up said, "Jake, will you marry me?" And I understand that Ronnie and some of the field hockey players constructed that first sign, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't Ronnie that did the "Jake, will you marry me?" because she has been going out with one of my former players, Matt Weirfield. So that would more likely have been Matt, "Will you marry me?" As I mentioned, Jake is a goaltender for us. It's been a position that's been commented by many people in sport to be one of the most difficult positions to play in all of sport. He didn't get the ice time at times I think he would have liked to have had, and Jake is as competitive as any one of us, but handled it very well with great mental toughness. He's a real team guy and somebody who was very, very well respected in our program. And I think probably those of us in coaching would say if we have players that we recommend become coaches, that's probably one of the ultimate compliments. And Jake is interested in being a coach, and we're going to do everything we can to help him out with that. And I think he'll be a great one. Jake, if you could just stand up. Tomas Benovich was mentioned earlier here, was up on the stage. He's an international business major from Slovakia, so it's probably appropriate that he's in international business. Slovakia, as many of you may know, is a country in Europe, a little bit on the eastern side of things. It's fairly well known for hockey. Cara, that big defenseman who plays for the Boston Bruins, is from Slovakia. And we came to, or he came to us rather, Tomas, he wrote a letter to all 58 Division I programs in the country, and 4 responded. We were one of the 4. And it was certainly to our benefit because he ended up coming here. And I think it takes a certain amount of fortitude for anybody to come a long ways to school, especially when you live about 7,000 miles away and are a little bit shaky initially with the language. So actually Mike Field, my assistant, was one of the guys who hosted him during his official visit. And they were downtown when Tomas, during that visit, and they were, I think, at Pizzeria Uno, and they went around the table and each one of the players ordered, and they got to Tomas, and he just pointed to a picture with a plate of food and said, "I'll take that." He's also one of our real character guys, a shutdown defenseman, one of our best conditioned individuals, and has made a wonderful, not only commitment, but contribution as well to AIC hockey. And I alluded to the fact he's a shutdown defenseman. we get that term for defensemen who are particularly proficient at keeping other teams from scoring and being able to do a lot of things they want to do offensively. So he and Mike Little often were a tandem teaming up against our opponent's top lines. Tomas? Steve Mcleod was also up on stage here a short time ago. Steve is a math and pre-med major, as was mentioned. I think he's one of the last of the math majors. There might only be a couple on campus. And is from Ontario, as was mentioned. And he also, although living in Canada, played for the North Iowa Outlaws out in Iowa, obviously. And although they were termed the Outlaws, that doesn't necessarily mean Steve was an outlaw, out on furlough or something like that. But it was a very strong program, and when he came to us, he immediately contributed. He ended up with 70 career points, or almost 70 career points, which would put him probably in the top 15 to 20% of all forwards that play at our level in terms of accumulation of career points. I think probably one of the most noteworthy facts about Steve is the fact that I have alluded to pre-med. He has applied to a bunch of med schools up in Canada and recently came back from some pretty difficult or stringent interviews in which I understand he did very well. So he's going to become a physician, and I think that's a great thing for him, and I think that we're all going to be the beneficiaries, our institution, our hockey program, and our athletic department as well. Steve? Greg Vetrano is a criminal justice major from East Long Meadow, Mass, not very far from here. And like all of our other seniors, he's been a perennial member of the Atlantic Hockey All-Academic team. We had 24 players on our team, and last semester, all 24 had GPAs of over 3.0, so that was quite an accomplishment for our kids. Greg's family, interestingly enough, owns Antonio's right across the street here, and when you drive down State Street, you don't always necessarily think of college hockey, but his parents have owned that for some time. And not only is Greg obviously playing college hockey, but his brother just recently signed with Boston College, one of the premier programs in the country. And his cousin, whose mother also works over there, is at BC right now. So it's quite an accomplishment to look across the street at the Antonios and realize there's 3 individuals that are very closely attached that are all playing college hockey. Greg has also done a internship at the Hamden Correctional Facility, and really in some respects he's all set. He did a great job there, and I think it's going to lead to some great employment opportunities. He's had a girlfriend that he's been going out with since kindergarten. Actually maybe not quite kindergarten, I may be exaggerating a little bit, but they've been going out a long time. And for us, he was a forward, and I think one of his most distinguishable characteristics is his versatility. He can play a lot of different positions, and I think as athletes, we also like to be at that comfort level where we're kind of have a set role, and there are certain individuals that, even though they would rather be in perhaps the same position or have that sort of assurance that it's always going to be the same. I think Greg did a wonderful job playing a lot of different positions for us, and it really helped our program, and I think it says a lot about him as well. And he was also a very fine penalty killer. Greg? We have 2 award winners, and it's easy to say. In fact, I don't know if I've said this before, but we probably had the most difficult time this year narrowing it down to 2. We have a number of seniors, most of whom I've just introduced to you, that have done a wonderful job for us, and any one of them could have easily been one of these award winners as well. Mike Little, who was also up here, is CJ and Psych, as was mentioned. He's from Enfield, Connecticut, close by, another one of our local type players. At Fermi High School in Enfield, he played for Frank Genovese, who's one of my former assistants, who was also a guidance counselor there. And Mike was also a member of the Atlantic Hockey All-Academic team. He's also in SAC, Who's Who, in American colleges and universities, and also works in admissions. As a fact, a couple of weeks ago, I called over to admissions to see about some applicants, and Marge answered and went on and on about what a wonderful boy Mike was, and how cute he was, and how they all loved having him over there. Just the usual type things like that. And I don't want anybody to get any ideas about that. Marge is retiring in a couple of weeks at about 70 years old. But like a lot of people at admissions, she really enjoyed working with him, and we heard wonderful things. Mike, as some of you may know, the last few weeks, or actually a few weeks ago, was playing in Reading, Pennsylvania in the East Coast Hockey League, which is kind of hockey's version of AA, or baseball's version rather of AA. And really, the reports we've got back is they were pleasantly surprised by his play. Those of us who are on the ice with him every day wouldn't be surprised by that. We know how good a player he is, but I think, like a couple of our other seniors, he's got some really positive possibilities in terms of playing, after college. He was also one of our captains. Wasn't an all-star, but should have been an all-star. I alluded earlier about Tomas being a shutdown defenseman and his partner being Mike. And Mike is also the recipient, Mike, you can start walking up here too, is also the recipient of the Henry Butova Award, which goes to the hockey player who displays outstanding leadership. We have one more senior to introduce, Tom Mealy, who just came back especially for this. He's accelerated his courses and has also been playing hockey the last few weeks in the Central League for Fort Wayne, and hurried back for this, so he's got his priorities straight at least. Tom is a business management major from the Bronx, New York. We don't necessarily associate the Bronx, it would be more with other sports, but the Mealys do play hockey in the Bronx, and also his brother Steve is 2 years behind Tom and has 2 more years in our program here as well. Tom has also been an outstanding student, was a member of the Atlantic Hockey All-Academic team, and played, as I mentioned, pro the last few weeks, and also was actually our captain, which was elected by our team members. I think one of his distinguishing features is his organizational skills. He did a lot of things away from the ice, as well as on the ice, that provided great leadership for our program, and ended up with 10 goals, which would put him, using that percentage thing again, probably about the top 15% of forwards in our league would have ended up with at least 10 goals this year. Tom, you can start walking up as well. Tom is the recipient of the William Cunniff Award, which goes to the player who best displays ability, scholarship, and loyalty.
For wrestling tonight, I would like to first start off by thanking my staff. Willie Hilton, can you stand up for a second? And as well as Davin Williams. Davin, please stand up. Thanks guys for another great season. Tonight's sole senior, I just found out, could not make it tonight. He has a presentation due, and apparently he's been working on a little culinary arts skills, so he's at home cooking for the women's soccer team. But I'm going to talk a little bit about him anyway. It's Jason Bagon. Jason was a major contributor to the AIC wrestling program in many capacities. He was a continuous motivator and a mentor to the underclassmen, both on and off the mats. In addition, he always tried to lead by example. I have no doubt that Jason's years here at AIC on the wrestling mat with the wrestling team will positively translate into the workplace. I enjoyed coaching Jason and watching his maturation process through the years. I wish him tremendous luck moving forward. Tonight's MVP is Ronnie Tatro. Ronnie, can you come down? Ronnie is the first NCAA national qualifier in a decade for AIC. And wrestling aside, this could not happen to a better person. He placed third in the nation at Colby Community College in Kansas as a freshman. He chose to come back to his roots here and wrestle at AIC. Thank you, Ronnie. I'm grateful he made this decision. I have tremendous admiration for Ronnie, along with his parents who are here tonight, Mr. and Mr. Tatro. You did a great job with him. I enjoy every day, just, more than coaching, doing it with him. He's more like a friend. He amazes me every day, and not only with his wrestling abilities, but with his work ethic, genuineness, compassion, and just by being a great person. He has unbelievable character. I have to also mention, in addition to the wrestling team placing top 20 academically again this year, Ronnie is my first team academic All-American. Once again, Ronnie Tatro.
Hi, Kristen Patterson, women's basketball. Like Chaz and some of the other coaches, I would just like to first thank my assistant coach, Stacy Bover, if you could stand up. Stacy is a graduate of the college, and she came back to coach with us this year, and it's really been a big help to our team. She's working, with the post players. She has some professional experience, so we just want to thank you for your hard work, and you're doing a great job. There's a few other people I'd like to thank. Is Sydney still in the audience? Where is she? Yeah, stand up. Sydney was our water girl this season and ball girl. She came to every game, and she did a great job, so we just wanted to recognize her. Our team this year, we were 19-10. We had a very good year. We got picked 11th in the preseason poll. And we just overachieved. We won a lot of games early on in the season. We actually beat URI at URI, which, if you guys don't know, they play in the Atlantic 10, and it's an upper echelon Division I program. So we went there and beat them on their home court. So that was a great tribute to our team. So good job. We did miss the NCAA tournament, so the girls that are here, that's our goal for next season. But we have two seniors. Both of them transferred in. The first one, well, you guys can both come up actually, we'll talk about is the Hilton White Memorial Hustle Award winner. This is presented to a member of the varsity basketball team who hustles on the court and in the classroom and distinguishes herself in campus activities. That is going to Josephine McLean. Josephine from University of Maryland Eastern Shore, was here for 2 seasons. Really was a great captain. She would pick the freshmen up and Rhea for early morning workouts and give them rides, and she was just caring. She made everyone feel welcome in our team. She if you saw, Joe when she first got here, her junior year, she got a lot better. Her shot got a lot better. She got stronger. She worked very, 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 very hard. On the court, and I think her teammates saw that. And Joe did a great job for us, just being a leader, and I always say to the team, I go, well, that's why we did so well. We had team chemistry. Our seniors did a great job leading us. Joe would come to the locker room and put signs up and make CDs, and AJ and Joe recorded themselves that we would listen to before games, and they just did a great job. So congratulations, Josephine McLean. Our most valuable player award goes to Adriana Johnson. No one got her name right for the 2 years that she was here. She was a transfer from New Jersey Tech. This is the second time you won MVP, correct? Yes. AJ was third team all conference for us. I think she should have been first. I think she was the best point guard in the league. And then people who saw us play, I think would tend to agree with that. She led her team in points, assists, steals. Me and Stacey would call her AJ Clutch Johnson, because whenever she was at the foul line, we knew her free throws were going in. AJ worked really hard. She just actually got off a plane from Puerto Rico. She went for a tryout there. And she was just a great leader, great captain. Again, with Josephine, they really, brought our group together. We had, 4 freshmen, and they really took them under their wing and showed them, the right things to do. So, team MVP, Adriana Johnson.
My name is Art Lopatowski. I'm the head basketball coach here at AIC. I'd like to acknowledge a couple people before I start talking about our players and our team. Our associate head coach, Andy Burkholder. Andy, if you can stand up and take a bow, please. Our grad assistant, Jeff DeSato. Coach Wilkins, I'll steal a word from you, absentia, I like that. Absentia. Joe Page, our volunteer assistant here, did a great job this year. And I'd like to thank our coaching staff for all they did, and greatly appreciate all their efforts. Also like to thank our manager, Tom Okaboto, who's in his and there's just so many people, like you could just go on here. I know the night is short, but I look around real quickly. John Culp and his staff, thanks so much for keeping our guys here. And Rich, and Matt, and Mary for putting this show on tonight. There's so many people that go into helping us, Paulie and Warren in the equipment room, and greatly appreciate all their efforts. They say that a basketball team or any team really goes only as far as their seniors will take them, and that was certainly true of our team this year. This is my 12th year at AIC, and I've only had 2 NCAA teams, and this was one of them. And we're certainly a senior-led team, and we got to the NCAA tournament based upon the efforts and the talent of our seniors. And there's 4 of them here tonight. I'd like to have them all stand up. I'll name them one at a time. Hold your applause to the end. Byron Richards. Go ahead, clap. He deserves it. Adrian Hines Geary. Alan Regmaye. And Bonzell Jackson. Thank you, gentlemen. Well done. Great season, special year, and it means a lot to me for all you've done for us. I have 2 awards to give. I have one called the Christopher Ellis Award, and that goes to the most inspirational, hardest playing player, I guess you'd say. Someone who inspired his teammates with his intensity and with his hard work. And I had the players vote on these awards, by the way, and this was a runaway vote, and I totally agree with the players. This award goes to Bonzell Jackson. Just get an award, that's all. But an important award, and a well-deserved, that's all. Our next award is called the Bob Cousy Award, and anybody who follows New England basketball over a generation knows that Bob Cousy was a great guard for the Boston Celtics, and this is an award based upon leadership. And since I've been at AIC, it has always gone to a guard, and this year it goes to a well-deserved point guard, Adrian Hines Geary.
This year has been a very exhilarating one for the cheerleading program here at AIC. The fall began with a preseason camp hosted by the Universal Cheerleading Association, where not only did the girls learn to be better cheerleaders, but came out as stronger, more confident young women. We were thrilled to be on the sidelines for football, men's basketball, and also had the pleasure to cheer on the women's volleyball team and the men's rugby team. We were invited to cheer in the parade at the Big E as a celebration for the college's 125th anniversary and had a wonderful time entertaining the crowd. Our biggest news to share this year, however, is our return to competition after many years. We participated in the annual Easter Classic Invitational and placed second. We look forward to attending more competitive opportunities in the upcoming seasons. I'm delighted to say for the first time as head coach, I have seniors. First, I would like to recognize Aaliyah DeCate. Aaliyah is dedicated and wise beyond her years. She possesses a unique creativity and is always seeking new challenges for herself as well as the team. Aaliyah's positive attitude is infectious. She is mature, nurturing, and empathetic. After only being with us for 1 year, she has left an impressionable mark in the minds and hearts of the entire team. She continues to impress with her ability to excel academically in the physical therapy program. Thank you, Aaliyah. I said I wouldn't get emotional for the next one, but I'll try. I would also like to recognize Caitlyn Conley. It's been an honor not only to mentor you, Caitlyn, as a coach, but to share the sidelines with you here at AIC as a cheerleader. Caitlyn has an incredible sense of balance, the ability to commit herself to the team while keeping up with the academic demands of the occupational therapy program is not easy. There are many words that could describe Caitlyn. Optimistic, intelligent, and spirited are only a few. I'm sorry. Her energy is always a positive one, both on and off the sidelines, making her a magnificent role model. As captain for the last 3 years, she's quickly became a natural leader and gained the respect of her fellow teammates. Throughout my career as head coach, she's been there every step of the way, and for that I will forever be grateful. Thank you, Caitlyn. Kind of made it, not really. Each year I pick a member of the team that truly defines what it is to be a cheerleader. This year, without a doubt, this young woman has been impressive from the start. Her love for sports is evident. She is the first to applaud a great play and the first to call out the refs when she believes they've made a big call. She takes great pride in AIC and the success of the cheerleading program. There's not a practice, game, competition, or event where she's not given it her all. She is forever encouraging her teammates and pushing herself. Her success can also be seen in the classroom, and it's my pleasure to award Laura Casella MVP.
Men's and women's cross country and track and field. I first would like to thank my assistant coaches for their hard work and dedication to helping our athletes each day. Tanner Williams is our throws coach. I'm going to have him stand up. And Coach Brad Lawrence is our pole vault coach, and Coach Patrick O'Neill, our assistant distance coach, who aren't here. I'd also like to thank Arlene, Mary, Matt, Rich, Paul, Mike, and Warren, who've been supportive all year. They've really helped us out whenever we needed something, or myself, so thank you to them as well. I'd also like to talk about our seniors this year. We got 14, my first recruiting class. Very attached to them. I've learned with them, grown with them, and they came in as young men, or young boys, young girls, and now are leaving as men. So I really appreciate what they've done. Women. The people I'm going to talk about first are Justin Roberts. He's team captain, school record holder in heptathlon, pole vault, and javelin. Conference champ in 2010 outdoor, all New England 2 times in the heptathlon indoors, and he also was on the national list indoors twice. So Justin Roberts. Next athlete I'm going to talk about is Mcleod Branch. I've known him for 7 or 8 years. I coached him at Bloomfield, and great student, great athlete, 4-year member of our cross country and track and field teams, all conference, school record holder in the 4x800, and personal best of 12.6 on pole vault, Mcleod Branch. Another athlete, I was really glad to recruit him, very mature, very trustworthy, Eagle Scout, Michael Vagansky. He 4-year cross-country member, indoor and outdoor track member, personal best of 200 meters, 22.88 in the 200. He was also on our 4x4 team that placed second this year in the 4x4. So, Michael Vagansky. Paul Stark is Paul here. Paul's going to be a senior. He has 1 more year of eligibility in football, but he's leaving. And he was one of our best and most consistent throwers, indoor and outdoor, for the past 3 years. And we're going to miss him a lot, so Paul Skarka. I'm also going to talk about Julian Devane, 2-year transfer from France. He was one of our best distance runners. He was on our relay teams indoors, great cross-country runner, and we're going to miss him a lot as well, so Julian Devane. On the women's side, Cameron Williams, she actually came out for track last year and had never thrown a javelin. By the end of the season, she was the 5th best thrower in the country. Currently, she's ranked 13th, and she had told me already she wants to win and be the national record holder. So hopefully we can do that by outdoor. All right, I'm going to call up my MVPs for cross country, and I'm going to talk about them as they come up. It's Galerius Ropp, Jeff Tui Cheritage, Dominic Smith, and Bademi, so I'm going to have them come up. I'll talk about Galerius first, our cross-country runner, MVP. By far our most valuable athlete, one of our best athletes we've ever had here. Northeast 10 conference champ, set a conference record when he ran 24:08 in the 5 miles at Stonehill. First place finisher at the New England Championship. Placed 23rd at the Division II National Cross Country Championships. He's in his 2nd year, he's a sophomore. He's already a 5-time All-American, and he's going for his 6th All-American honor this outdoor. We're not done yet, we have about a month left of our season. He's ranked 2nd in the 10K right now, he's ranked 3rd in the 5K, and he's an amazing athlete, and that's Galerius Ropp. Okay, we have Jeff Tui Cheritage. She's this year's cross-country MVP. She was our #1 runner in every meet she ran in. Northeast 10 conference champion, East regional champion, running 18:02 for the 5K, 22:18 for the 6K cross-country course. She was our first ever women's cross-country national qualifier, and she was 1 spot shy at the NCAA meet of becoming an All-American. That's Jeff Tui Cheritage. Our MVP for women's track and field is Bademi Balogun. Bademi set and broke her own school record this year in the weight throw when she threw 18.23 meters, which is 59 feet, 9 3/4 of an inch, at the BU Terry Invitational, which she won. Bademi also claimed her 3rd indoor conference title in the weight throw. Her throw of 59.9 also qualified her for the indoor national championship, where she placed 9th this year, 1 spot from being another All-American. Bademi is currently thrown 182 feet, 7 inches. She just threw that at the Penn Relays, where she placed 3rd overall in the championship division. With that throw, she automatically qualified for this year's Division II Outdoor Track and Field Championship. Bademi Balogun. And last but not least, Dom the Dominator. He's this year's track and field MVP. Dom has set and broke 3 school records this past indoor season while qualifying for the indoor national championship in both the 200 meter and 400 meter. He was this year's Northeast 10 champion in the 400 and also helped our 4x4 relay team to victory as well. He became a 2-time All-American this year indoors when he placed 2nd overall in the 400 meter dash in a time of 46.81 seconds. With that time, he was ranked number 35 in the world indoors, which is compared to all Division I, all athletes in the world. He was top 35. That's pretty kind of a big deal. As the championship season approaches, we are looking for Dom to qualify again for this year's NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championship, and hopefully he can repeat and be top 35. Thank you very much.
I wanted to take a minute to recognize our seniors tonight, but first I wanted to talk about Tomo. Where's Tomo? Is he still here? Tomo. He was our team manager this year. He helped out a lot, whether it was getting bagels for the girls on the bus or getting their movies or turning the heat up, turning the heat down. He was always there for us, so thanks for all your hard work, Tomo. Our first senior tonight is Colleen Dorsey. Dorsey has one of the most positive attitudes a player could possess. She comes every day to practice with a smile on her face and an attitude that can energize the whole team. Dorsey has helped fill the gaps all over the field, which include playing defense, one of her first years here, and she's an attacker. One thing you may not know about Dorsey is that she likes to wink randomly, to ease tension or put a smile on somebody's face. We will definitely miss those winks. Gina Gallo is our second senior tonight. Gina is our goalie. She has saved the team many times throughout her 4 years, including in Saturday's game against St. Michael's. She holds an active record for most saves in a career in all of Division II. Along with being a great goalie, Gina has also been working on her time management. She has become so good at it that on Saturday, after missing the bus because of car trouble, she made it all the way to St. Mike's in her car, right in the nick of time, without getting a speeding ticket that I know of. Both seniors have been a great asset to our team and will be hard to replace. We'll miss you, and I know you guys will go on to do great things in life. Now for our MVP. Duckles, you want to come up? I do game management for field hockey, so I get to watch all the field hockey games. Lisa Duckles was always a standout on the field, hustling around. So when she came into my office and said she wanted to go out for the lacrosse team, I was more than willing to have her on the team. Every year the team votes for the player that they feel has the most impact on our program, and this year I'm proud to give the award to a player who recently joined our team. The player embodies what every coach looks for in an athlete. She's a dual sport athlete who stands out for her hustle and intensity on the field. If I were to choose 3 words to describe this person, they would be heart, hustle, and composure. I'm pleased to give our MVP award this year to Lisa Duckles.
I'm Shannon, men's lacrosse. Like Coach Mayo, this is a very special moment for me. I'm actually getting to honor my very first recruiting class. So I'm going to take a moment here and just mention a few names of my seniors. I got Max Castleman, please stand up. Dan McIsaac, Aaron McNabb, who could not make it today, Travis Hortensi, who could not make it today, Alex Casparis, James St. Cyr, Bryce Irvin. These gentlemen right here took a chance in a first-time head coach and a program that had been canceled and had seen better days. But for some reason, they put trust in me. They put trust and saw a vision in this institution, and I thank them very much for coming. I think they've taught me probably as much as hopefully as I taught them. And it's going to be a very sad moment to see you guys leave. You've meant a lot to me. You've done amazing work, and I want you to know that all your hard work has not gone unnoticed. Every team in this league has commented on us. Every official has commented on the progress that this team has made, and it truly means a lot to me, and it should mean a lot to yourselves as well. A couple notes that we have for our awards this year. We actually had 2 MVPs. One of them we honored during our senior game, and he couldn't make it today, but that's Aaron McNabb. Aaron McNabb was a 4-year starter for us. He broke the all AIC points this year. He's #1 assist for AIC this year. He's #2 in assists for the NE10 program, and he's been an amazing quarterback for our offense. I wish he was here to honor him a little more, but he will be truly missed. And for our MVP for this year, for this award right now, is Dan McIsaac. Dan McIsaac is #1 in goals scored for the NE10. He actually broke his 100 points record this past game at Merrimack, and another amazing senior who will be truly missed this year. Please come on up. And also, before I leave, we should get a round of applause for Mary, who's hiding behind the curtain who won't show herself. Come on out.
Hi, I'm Eric Crapo, the women's tennis coach. And Angie, would you please come up first? First of all, I'd like to thank the athletic department for all their help and support this year. Our team went through a very difficult season, but showed a lot of character and team spirit in dealing with it, especially Angie. While playing #1 singles and doubles and doing double duty with soccer practice and games, I don't know how she did it, showing a lot of intestinal fortitude during a very strenuous season. She gave it her all and never gave up while putting up with some attitude from some of her opponents that weren't close to being the athlete and person that she is. Great job, Angie, and congratulations on being the most outstanding player for the 2011 tennis.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Adam Feldman, men's tennis coach. Before I talk about some of my seniors, I just want to acknowledge one person in particular, Jerry Radding. He's a namesake of our Most Valuable Player Award winner. He was a former great player here just a few years ago, I believe, and really an all-star sports writer in this area for a long time, so I really appreciate you coming out here, Jerry, once again. Thank you. And always, I want to thank everybody in the athletic department, equipment room, training room, just like everybody else. As a part-time coach, I really rely on those guys to help me out with so much, so thank you. My seniors, if you want to stand up as I call you, I have a few things to speak about. One player who's not here tonight, Alex Tui. He has a presentation, I believe, so he's been excused by me. Alex played for me for 3 years. He will be back next year as a grad student. He just got accepted into the MBA program today, and he's very happy about that. Alex was a starter for me, playing singles and doubles, had a lot of great wins, and he's going to hopefully be back next year, possibly playing or possibly helping me out with coaching, so we'll see. Eric Stutman, stand up, please. Eric came in and really without a lot of tennis experience, joined the team a few years ago, and he, from where he came to where he is now, is one of my most improved players I've had here in a long time. That's right, Eric. He's a terrific student. He's going to be going on and working in his father's business and going on to get his MBA in the future. So, Eric, thank you very much. Andrew Russo. Where are you, Andrew? That's right. As Andrew has already been spoken about this evening, he was a great soccer player. I would probably categorize him as the leader of the clowns of my team for sure. As a lot of you would probably agree with that. Andrew's a great guy. Really improved a lot the last couple of years. A very talented athlete, and he played some great singles for me this year. And I think he's got a great chance to be a good soccer coach in the future. So thank you, Andrew. Jake Anderson. As Gary spoke about him earlier, Gary obviously was a goalie for the hockey team, and he's been on my team for 3 years. Really a very good athlete, played a lot of great doubles for me, and a fine student, and I think he has what it takes to become a really good hockey coach in the future, and I wish him the best of luck. My last two seniors I want to speak about first. Robbie Loubolt, please stand up. Robbie has been one of my top players for 4 years. One of my top 2 singles players, a great doubles player, and actually one of my most talented players I've had in my 10 years here. And we're going to miss him quite a bit. And he unfortunately had to go up against some of the top tennis talent in the Northeast 10, and Northeast 10 is a very strong tennis conference. He had a lot of great wins for me over the years. Sometimes he got a little frustrated playing against some guys that were a little bit out of his league, but he really was a great player for me, and we're going to miss him a lot, so thanks, Rob. My final athlete is my award winner this evening, Mike Little. Why don't you come on up while I speak about you? Mike seems to be racking up a lot of awards and recognition this evening. Mike missed almost half of my season this year. I got called up to play in some professional hockey that Gary spoke about earlier. One of the best athletes I've had here in my tenure as coach. I wish I had 10 guys like him. He just epitomizes what a student athlete should be. He puts his very best into whatever he decides to do. He only played for me for 2 years. Came in with really no tennis experience, and he turned himself into a very good tennis player in a very short period of time. Since he wasn't here half of the year, I think it tells you quite a bit about what I think of him as being one of the leaders of this team. The attitude of the team is different when he's here. He's a very, very good doubles player, put a lot of work into becoming a good player this off-season. And I wish him a ton of luck, and I think he's going to have a fine hockey career. So, Mike Little, my Jerry Ratting Most Outstanding Player Award.
We do have a golf coach. But Coach Enzer right now is with his team. They're competing in the NCAA Super Regional in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Last fall, the team finished tied for the Northeast 10 Championship and lost on an obscure tie-breaking procedure. They've qualified for the NCAA tournament this spring as the number 3 team in the East. And with the report from Hershey today after the first round is very encouraging. Their score was 297, which is the best 4 scores out of 5, which means the average score was 74, which is very good golf. And that's a good start for them. So we can hope that the next 2 days will go as well. The top 5 teams qualify for the national tournament. Last year, we missed by 1 stroke out of 925. So the good start means a lot. Obviously, this kind of success means we have some very good golfers here. One is senior Kent Graham. Kent has won 1 tournament this year already, and he led the way with a 70 today, so he's off to a good start. Senior Greg Stratner has also been a steady scorer all year. Golf has a special award thanks to the generosity of alumnus T.P. Tunstall. T.P. is here somewhere. Thank you, T.P. T.P. has created a scholarship award in memory of his AIC golf teammate, Woody J. Jefferson. It is awarded annually to an AIC underclassman golfer who best contributes positively to AIC golf. This year, the award goes to junior Kevin Daniels. Kevin comes from Alaska, which is not where we usually go to find golfers. And in fact, he was 6-time Alaska Junior Golfer of the Year. Turns out he can also play on grass. This fall, he won 1 major tournament, and he has 12 top 10 finishes in the past 3 years. And he'll be next year's captain. So the Woody Jefferson Scholarship goes to Kevin Daniels. Our outstanding golfer again is senior Garrett Beer. Garrett won the Northeast 10 Conference Championship this year with an 88-inch birdie putt on the first playoff hole. I don't know, that video was on the website for a long time, and it showed Garrett's shot that was stiff on the pin. Over his career, he has won 6 tournaments and was runner-up on 6 other occasions. He is the most decorated golfer in AIC history and the first to qualify for the NCAA National Championship Tournament, and that was last year. This year, he's out there again with his teammates, and we're all rooting for them. So that's Garrett Bayer.
By now you're all saying, oh God, only 2 more to go. I got my award. What am I still sitting here for? I'd like to thank Gary Wright, who's my game manager, for hustling after those balls. Gary, you did a great job. At the team meeting today, we were tied for 8th place, and we lost in the tiebreaker, so we will not be playing in the Northeast 10 tournament. But at that time, Belanger goes, you know, sometimes I forget what I'm saying because my mind wanders to something else. And Belanger goes, I hope you don't forget my name tonight, Coach. So no, I haven't forgotten your name, Steffi Belanger. Come on up, because you indeed are getting the Most Valuable Player Award. Stephanie played 43 out of 44 games this year. I normally don't read stats, but these are outstanding. And at the same time, I want to tell you what an outstanding student Stephanie is. She has a 3.8 average in physical therapy and is only a sophomore. So we look forward to her not only being a leader in the next few years, but also being an outstanding student as well. Stephanie's batting average is .356. This year she had 47 hits, 5 home runs, 9 doubles, and 2 triples. And has she could play anywhere in the infield. She has been great to work with, and she really knows the game. So thanks, Steph. And by the way, she played 43 out of 44 because she broke her finger on Saturday when we played St. Mike's. Now, I like to say Dion, but I just learned this year it was Dion after 4 years, because she never corrected me. So Beck, will you come up? Because Becky's done a marvelous job for me as captain this year, and as an outstanding student. Becky, as you've heard before, has a 3.59, and she is in the 4th year of the PT program. For those of you that didn't like the gym schedule, it could have gotten mixed up because Becky was the typist. For those of you that didn't like the game management schedule, she could have reversed your names. She's worked for me for 4 years, and I cannot thank her enough for everything she's done. Becky Dion for athletic and academics.
Good evening, everyone. Mcleod, I'm the head baseball coach here. I'd like to send out the same thanks that all the previous coaches have sent out to everyone, specifically my assistant coaches, Paul Demaria, Mike Lovato, Nick Marsh, and Dan Bassani. I have a rather large group of seniors this year, including Sean McClellan, Mike Tranghese, Paul Mazza, John Shivo, Zach Bonzell, Shawn Stevenson, Dylan Fontaine, Kyle McNiff, and Anthony Arciello. 2 of those guys, Kyle McNiff and Nick Devane, will both be coming back next year due to injury, but I feel they should be lumped in with these guys. And I'd rather talk about them as a group rather than individuals. Really, they've been the culture changers of this program. It's been a long road, a long haul. We've dealt with a lot of adversity, not only this year, but the past 4 years these guys have been here. And hopefully things are kind of coming to a steaming point here this year. We're in the middle of a playoff run. We have 4 games left. firmly believe that if we win those 4 games, which are all variable winnable games, we get a tiny little bit of help. We'll actually root for Franklin Pierce. We definitely should be in our conference playoffs, which would be the first time that I've been here. And I think is really the step that these guys have brought to our program. It's not only the athletic side of things. When I say culture, it's everything. It's how these guys act. It's how they are around campus. It's how they are around little kids that come and visit us. It's really just everything that you could want as a coach for your team to be like, and for our young guys to emulate. That's what this group is, and I think that's a really special group that we've brought through, and I'm very proud of these guys. Our 2 award winners, first one is the Most Valuable Player Award, and that's going to go to Kyle McNiff, who you can work your way up here. You know, in talking about adversity of this whole group, you know, I think Kyle epitomizes that. You know, we weren't sure that he was ever going to play the game again after a pretty substantial wrist injury, and not only were we able to get him back playing at a decent level, but Kyle's gotten back to a level that we expected him to get at when we first recruited him here. This was a player's vote. Certainly couldn't agree more, but you know, at a current state, he's our leader in batting average, runs scored, doubles, on-base percentage, hit by pitch. He's tied for the lead in hits and triples. He's second in at-bats, total bases, RBIs, and slugging percentage. So certainly the statistical background is there. From a coach's perspective, he's everything a coach wants. Phenomenal in the classroom. You know, really a role model for players, for younger kids. Volunteers his time at local schools. Can't tell you the exact GPA offhand, but it was about a 3.94 or 5 the last time I checked it. Multiple semesters in which he was a 4.0. You know, he said we'll be a 3-time captain next year, and he does everything you could ask. When there's a ball bucket that needs to be picked up, he'd be the last guy I'd expect to go get it, but the first to go get it. So, you know, I can't say enough about him. Our MVP, Kyle McNiff. Our second award is the Henry A. Batova Memorial Award. It's presented to a baseball player who's shown outstanding contributions to AIC baseball, both on and off the field, and whose commitment, loyalty, and leadership represents the highest principles of intercollegiate athletics. This year it's going to go to Paulo Maza. Paulo's a senior who is in a difficult spot, battling another senior for his position. So it was one of those lose-lose situations as a coach, and I commend both of them. And in the early part of the year, Paulo didn't see a lot of playing time, and he really handled that really in the best way a coach could ask. He was certainly disappointed, but he came to the park every day with that classic smile on his face and went to work trying to get himself on the field. And really bought into a philosophy that's tough to buy into as a player, but you constantly find yourself as a coach saying, keep doing what you're doing. And you keep asking me, what do I need to do, coach, to get on the field? And I say, nothing different. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting in the hard work you're putting in, and it's paid off. And I think that's just a testament to his character. He's been a pleasure to coach, a fan favorite, a player favorite. Certainly everybody tries to imitate him. Nobody can quite do it.
I'd ask you to please bear with me. I know we're at the end of the list, but we have a few more people to recognize. Last Thursday night at Co-Curricular Awards Night, it was my pleasure to introduce to the larger campus community the athletic department's top award winners for 2010-2011. And I will introduce them now. Because I've already gone over their impressive achievements at Co-Curricular Awards Night, I will introduce them, and you can read about their accomplishments in the program. Please stand as I call your name and remain standing. the Lieutenant Alvin J. Caracari Memorial Award for outstanding contributions to intercollegiate athletics at AIC. Kat Hedderbrink, field hockey. Justin Roberts, track and field. The F.J. Maloney Award for the outstanding athletes for 4 years. Cassie Ashwell, women's soccer. And Rob Parent, football. Also, the President's Cup in recognition of major contributions to the AIC athletic program during the past academic year, and that's Garrett Beer of men's golf, and he's out on the course. So congratulations. We owe so much to those who make our athletic dreams and aspirations come to life, our coaches. I'm always pleased and proud to see all of our coaches together in one place like this. It's easy to see the positive team dynamics that they and their student athletes have created. These coaches have worked endless hours to create the athletic experiences that you have sought. They are fulfilled by your successes and often do not sleep when you fall short. We owe them so much. Thank you to the coaches. I have said many times that the whole athletic department functions as a team. In addition to the coaches, we have a dedicated group of professionals who carry out their individual roles with pride and distinction. Would they please stand as I call their names and remain standing? I think some of them are here. There, of course, is Mary Akers. Mary just disappeared on me. There's Mary. Matt Johnson. John Cope in the training office. Is Chris Mercurio here? We count him. Josh from rugby, is he here? And okay. Jason and the training staff. Anybody else? Thanks very much to you all, you folks. Now, there are a few members of our coaching staff that received special recognition this year that deserve our acknowledgement. Coach Matt Johnson was recognized for his achievements in building our women's soccer team from scratch to a regional power by being named Northeast 10 Coach of the Year for that sport. Congratulations, Matt. Coach Art Liptowski was also recognized by his colleagues by being named Northeast 10 Coach of the Year for men's basketball. This is the second time Coach Liptowski has been so recognized. Congratulations, Art. And of course, field hockey coach Stacy Blue was National Field Hockey Coach of the Year. There's one more student athlete I'd like to recognize, and you've already met her and you already know her, but Lauren Silva, would you please come forward? Lauren has played a very special role on campus and has represented our college and our department with distinction in her role as chair of our Student Athlete Advisory Council, that's SAC. Lauren has, of course, made SAC a very visible and active organization on campus, representing student athlete perspectives and raising money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is the chosen charity of the National SAC. Lauren is also our representative to the Northeast 10 SAC, and is chair of that group as well. As such, she is the conference representative to the National SAC organization. She has represented all student athletes and really all of us in the conference at the national level. She has made presentations to our conference administrators and to the National Division II Convention. She has done all of this in the intelligent, thoughtful, business-like manner that we have all come to expect from her. And I can tell you that she has made me very proud. We should all be very proud of her. Congratulations, Lauren. And finally, we acknowledge the retirement of softball coach Judy Groff. After 43 years as the only softball coach in the college's history. Over those years, her teams have won 974 games, placing her among the all-time leaders in NCAA history. She has guided the Yellow Jackets to 14 NCAA championship tournament appearances, including trips to the College World Series in 1996 and 1997. She was a prominent member of a pioneering generation of women's athletics, and she did it right here at AIC. Both the college and the softball world have already recognized Judy's accomplishments and enormous impact with their ultimate awards. In 2006, our softball field was named by the college in her honor. It will be forever known as the Coach Judy Groff softball field. And in 2007, Judy was inducted into the National Softball Coaches Hall of Fame. For that occasion, we made a video which was shown at the Hall of Fame induction event in Las Vegas, Nevada. Some of you may have seen it at that time, but I thought this would be a good time to show it for everyone. So if you give us a second, we'll show the video.